All right. We are live, people. What is up? We are officially Ep.3 Planet PlayStation Podcast. I am your host, the Best Bot Kid Smooth, and I have the usual Honest to Critic.
Hey, what's going on?
That's it? No news?
I mean, what's to say, man? You know, I'm Honest to Critic. Find me on Twitter at Honest to Critic. And, yeah. So news week, so into it.
All right. And Ramble, how are you doing today?
Oh crap! I'm doing good, man. I've been trying to go back and play some older games for a platinum, but like Alien Isolation, and forgot how that game was kind of jumpy. But doing pretty good. And if y'all want to follow me, y'all can follow me at MyPlanetPS on Twitter.
Actually, I had to change your freaking icon name now that I think about it. It still says like Ramble's Corner. Anyway,
Hey, shout out to Cat Daddy.
Cat Daddy Fat Stacks.
Cat Daddy Stacks. He missed it last week. You know what time it started, so.
Oh, D Almighty.
I'm here on time.
Yeah, this is like this show starts typically between 3:15 and 3:25.
Well, no, we late. We late.
We're
My
late.
apologies.
Yeah, we're just a little bit late here. You said you've been playing Rambo. You said you was playing Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Okay. And Critic, what have you been playing this week?
Well, let's see. I gave Zelda a break. Started playing a few online games.
Mm-hmm.
To which, I guess cover your ears because I'm going to talk about VR because I know how people feel about VR in the community. But I played some of that Battle Royale VR for Rec Room. Have you guys heard about that?
I think I heard about it a little bit about you, but I haven't personally seen it or know what it has to offer.
I will first let's start by talking about Rec Room.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, Rec Room is a free game you can download to play on VR, and it's like one of those social hub type of games where you can go into like an area and hang out with people, talk to them, group up, and then it has like a whole assortment of games you can play with those people. Like everything from like VR charades to VR tag, like laser tag.
Mm-hmm.
It has capture the flag, and now they just added Battle Royale to the list, and it's pretty interesting to play. You start out just like most VR games, most Battle Royale games, where you start out in like it's almost like you're one of those escalators that they use in mountaintops, like snow tops.
Yeah.
Where you go up on a wire. It drops you off that way. And then from there on, the floor opens and the doors open. You can jump out. And they have a glider, and you basically just hold the glider, and you can pull your hand up or down to control how fast you descend. So that's pretty interesting. And one of the things I found was pretty cool is the way that you manage your items is that when you pick up something, you can look down to your side where your hip would be, and it shows like a glowing area where you can just store items. So you just put your hand towards that area and you let go of the item, and it just holds it like a belt. And you can hold up to one item on each side, one gun in your hand, and then you can have another item in your other hand if you want to.
Quick question: is this like in first person or third person?
Oh, it's completely first person.
Okay.
In fact, like when you pick up potions, like health potions and shields, it's really immersive because you actually have to hold it's like a bottle. You hold it up to your face and you actually pretend you're drinking it, and you'll hear like the sound of your character gulping,
Mm-hmm.
like if he's drinking water, and then you'll see the bar. They have the bars in the corner, and you can see your shield go up or your health.
And this
It's
multiplayer.
Yeah, go on. It is multiplayer. It's up to 16 players, so it's not huge, but it's a smaller map, so it's still a tight game, and it's not as fast as you might think. Because it's kind of slow paced because you can either teleport around, but you can actually move too. and there's a sprint button. If you double click, you can sprint, and the way they do it is pretty good because you hear your heartbeat, and that's how you know. Yeah, you hear your heartbeat, and that's how you know that you're getting tired. So they don't have to count on you having to look to a corner every time you're running. So it's well thought out. And obviously aiming in first person, like you have reticles, you actually have to look down the sight as if it was a real gun.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't played enough to see how many different weapons there are, but I can tell you that I played Capture the Flag, and there's a ton of weapons. Everything from rocket launchers to grenades. Like, when I first played Rec Room, I thought this was just going to be some light game with not a lot of content, not a lot of like weapons or variety. Mm-hmm. And I've been surprised every time I go back to play that game. And since the VR has a built-in mic, anyone could just walk up and talk to each other. So I would recommend whoever plays it you should not be in a party. Like it's a social game. Like it's the way even interacting with people in that game works is you have to do actual hand signs. Like you fist bump to party up. You shake someone's hand to become their friend in the game because it has its own friends list. Oh. It even has these emotes that you select, and the emotes are displayed on your character's face because you have an avatar who you can customize, and those are the rewards you get for playing the games. So there's a reward system as well. You can dress up your avatar, but I don't want to bore anyone. I know people in VR, so. That's enough for now on that.
No, it sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely well thought out. It's BR and VR. It's thought out well. It's fun. It's a fun game.
I don't know why somebody asked me Wrecking Ball. I'm thinking of Crackdown. Somebody asked me what the name of it. It's called Rec Room.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Rec Room.
My bad, Rec Room. All right, how much is that game going for?
That's the thing. It's totally free. It's totally free. Yeah, it's one because I think. Well, here's the thing too. It's got crossplay with PC, so there you go for people who say there's no crossplay on PlayStation. Once again, it has crossplay, and that means that you're always going to find people to actually play with, socialize. It's never ever been empty. Mm-hmm. So that's a big plus. And like I said, you can just tell your friend if they have a VR headset, just download it for free and just jump in and have fun.
I might have to download that since it's free.
The one thing, kid, is you gotta stop being cheap and get those motion controls. Mm-mm. You need them. Well, you can't play this game without them.
That's stupid. See, the thing is, I don't want to rely on because the thing is, I don't play my VR enough to buy those.
Here's the thing, kid. Right? I would say that they should have an option for using a controller, mm-hmm. but it kind of like stumps the experience. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you got to remember too, it's on PC and it's crossplay, so they are going to have motion controls on PC. So there's no point in having another control set. It just doesn't work for them.
How much are those Move controllers?
I mean,
$100 for both of them.
They're like $100 for a bundle. I think you can find them on sale sometimes for like $70 to $80 at the cheapest.
God damn.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't it just like plastic with a tracking light in it? Like, I don't get it.
Well, here's the thing, though. I mean, if you would have I think you should have taken advantage when they had that deal going during E3, because you could have replaced your VR headset, sold it, and you could have gotten a newer model with the pass-through because you want the HDR pass-through. Mm-hmm. You could have got the newer model, and you probably could have got a great price. Like it would have came with a game. So. And there is a bundle with the controllers and Skyrim.
Can't you buy the pass-through separately?
No, you cannot. Because it's a whole different box, and they rework the wiring to make it less clutter.
Gotcha. Damn. All right. Because I can't get rid of that box because my girl bought it for me for Christmas. I didn't buy it myself.
I mean, you mentioned that you're replacing it, not getting rid of it. Yeah. You're like. There's a newer model that works with my TV, so I don't have to switch out cables. She'll understand.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Man, come on, you're smooth, man. Be smooth.
Only
kid.
Online.
Be smooth.
She's immune to that. So just to give you guys an update, you know, our good pal here, Critic, you finally loaded a video on your channel, right? So
just one for now, but I'm gonna load more probably right after the podcast is over if I have time.
Yeah, so you guys can go and subscribe to Honest the Critic video. He has this Persona 5 tribute music video on there, which is pretty dope. The way that
I just want, because like, you know, and the funny thing is I haven't even finished Persona, but I put like 100 hours and I got burnt out. But I mean, it's you don't have to play a lot of it to just know it's a hell of a game. It's special, man. It's a special game, and I wanted to. I heard this song and I was just like, this song is a Persona song, but it's not. I'm like, it should be. So I said I need to make a video and have this music playing with the Persona.
You don't have a copyright strike on it yet, do you?
No.
Copyright. Right.
No.
So we're gonna
not shouldn't be a strike, but yeah. I apologize if they put ads in the video because of that. Because of course you use licensed music, you pay the price, but if your copyright's right. Oh, I see you got the video playing in the background. Apologize for the quality, because for some reason it rendered low quality, the footage itself. But the music is, okay, we can't actually hear the music. I see you bobbing your head down.
Yeah, you guys can't hear it, but I can. My bad.
Yeah, everyone go check out that video. I'm going to have another video up afterwards. I'm going to try to have that up before I go to work. But yeah, my channel is basically right now, I have a lot of plans for this channel. But right now, it's probably going to consist of topical videos, not just news, because I'm tired of hearing people talk about exactly what's happening. I like to go at it from a different angle and do topics. So one of the videos I'm going to be posting later on is Where is Until Dawn 2? Because
it's not coming, dude.
I know it's going to come. I think it's coming. Well, I'm not going to get into that. If you guys want to hear my thoughts on it, my video will be up sometime today.
All right.
If I don't get,
I'm looking forward to it.
I'll have
it
it up
today.
today.
Maybe you can inspire me to make a video about it. I want to hear this shit. Yes.
Yeah, I want to see how you come to the conclusion that it's coming.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I mean, I think it's coming. But yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it once you guys check out the video. And, you know, don't forget to leave comments, because I love to hear about it. And, you know, hopefully constructive criticism. New channel. You know, be gentle. Be gentle out there. But yeah.
And also, Rambo has his Planet PlayStation, myplanetplaystation.com is up and running. Website looks clean. We got it here on the screen. This is it's you, Defizlio, right? Defizlio.
Yes.
And Aztec Zero. I know Defizlio from somewhere. I don't know if it's Twitter or YouTube, but
probably Twitter.
Okay. Now, how big is your team, Rambo, over here at Planet PlayStation?
We only got like three other guys besides me, but it seems like that I've been the only one writing, because I think one of them has written like 2 or 3 articles, and the other one's written 1. I've written everything else. So I mean, they've been kind of slacking with what they're writing, their part, you know. But I actually just wrote an article yesterday, or no, 2 days ago. Well, no, wait, today's Friday, yeah, Thursday, called the North American and Europe Easy Platinums that are on sale in the PlayStation Store, and it's already got like 1,400 views. So, I mean, if you're wanting some Easy Platinum, that's definitely an article for you.
Oh, that's what's up. Well, Easy Platinums, like easy, like I can do it in less than like an hour or so, because I would go.
Well, there's some that you can do. There's some you can do in an hour on there, and then some you're doing. You can do with. You know, sometimes it's like that might be easy games, but it might take 30 hours to do. But it's, I mean, it's anything basically with a difficulty rating of 3 out of 10 or lower.
But yeah, speaking of platinums, funny thing is, one of the other video I made is why I don't care about.
Yeah, I don't have a platinum trophy, and I feel like if once I get a platinum, there's games I know I can get a platinum trophy in if I wanted to do. If I play Batman on PlayStation or The Walking Dead, I can definitely take advantage of that.
Oh yeah, those are just givens.
Yeah, and I was mad because the first game I attempted to platinum at, and this is my dumb fault, was Abzu, and come to find out, get all trophies, they don't have a platinum. I cried. Because I was like, that was like the 4th platform I played the game on, and there's no platinum.
There's like a puzzle game that you can get.
See, that's what makes That's
There's
what
a
makes
puzzle
no sense
game.
to me is that some of those games like that don't have a platinum.
Yeah, what's that puzzle game that you can get a platinum like in less than an hour?
I Am Mayo, I think. I tried to get the platinum in that too, but it just hurt
That's
my
one, but
thumbs.
there's another one too that they actually removed from the store.
Oh, that one's called Slide. Yeah, it used to be called 1,000 top rated, and then Sony removed it from the store.
Sony removed it from the store because they were advertising it.
It's an easy platinum,
well,
right? Yeah.
You didn't even have to do anything. Like literally, with when Slide came on, all you had to do is just basically buy the game, load it up, hit continue, and then go to the very first puzzle, solve it, and you got every single trophy. Just started going. Like you never even had to play the game.
But yeah, like I said before, that's going to be the other video I put up. Is going to be about why I don't care about platinums and trophies, and what we're talking about right now is an example of that.
What's up?
I love trophy hunting.
I would like to do it. I want to get into it because I'm a level 7. I've been in level 7 for like ever. I think I'm a level 8 probably. Maybe am I level 7 or level 8? But I have no platinums. I think no platinums at all. I mean, I guess I don't care much, only because PlayStation isn't like my home like console. I don't like.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's the thing. So, but it does bother me seeing people get platinum. Like, why can I don't want to get a platinum? I want a platinum. So, like on Xbox, it's a complete difference what my profile look like with like the numbers game and having like those. You got
a long way to go to catch up to Jason.
Well,
you got 37 platinums.
A cheat game that you can play that's really easy. Mm-hmm. It's like you can get it in an hour. Is Nubla, Nubla.
Nubla.
It's basically just a walking simulator. Mm-hmm. There's actually a walkthrough video, mm-hmm. and it takes about an hour to complete. I mean, it's super freaking easy. And you can actually play that one, and they put another game out called The World of Nubla, which is the exact same game as Nubla. So, I mean, it's like you can get 2 platinums for that one game for like, I think the game runs about like $2.99 or $1.99 or something like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at your list because there was a lot of games I did that with Xbox that were interesting.
Southstar Online, you don't have to have a platinum to freaking host a PlayStation podcast.
No, I have 140. I have 148 platinums.
Damn.
There's plenty of people on PlayStation that play games that play.
Oh no,
don't care about.
Being a trophy hunter is not a requirement to be a PlayStation podcast.
Yeah, well, you definitely. I don't think it even means you're hardcore. There's plenty of people who play tons of games. They just don't care about trophies.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So they won't. They'll have a ton of score, but they won't have any platinums because of that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I know that actually are higher trophy level than me, but have a lot fewer plats. But they've played a ton more games and just got a ton more trophies.
Yeah,
exactly, Cat Daddy. I don't chase those tedious trophies either, because a lot of these trophies are tedious.
Let me give a shout out to the finest, Jason Elliott, Cat Daddy, who are here coming through in the chat. Those are some of the mods here. With Cat Daddy, is Cat Daddy not a mod? I gotta change that. All right, there you go.
Yeah, well, enough leisurely talk. Let's get into these topics.
No, because I didn't tell you guys what I'm about to start playing on PlayStation.
That's right. My bad.
I picked up a copy of Detroit, so
nice.
Lost into it.
Shout out to Erica Cuts for the win.
Shout out to Eric Cuts for the win.
She's a big fan.
Yeah, she changed her. It's like Eric Cuts become human or some shit like that.
Yeah, no, she's been going off about that game on Twitter.
Yeah,
she's got a
fun little game, man.
If anyone wants to check that out.
Awesome, definitely. Shout out to Eric Cuts for the win. All right, so let's get into these topics, right? So, last week we talked a little about this as it was brewing. I thought it would be, this topic would come and go over the course of the week, but it only has gotten
I wish it would have
worse. This whole cross-play situation between PlayStation and the fact that Microsoft and Nintendo has been running away with this. If you probably missed the trailer, but you probably haven't because it's been a meme. With Nintendo and Xbox, coming together in this new Minecraft trailer, highlighting that you get to play together. Better together.
Well, it's kind of funny because when I first saw all the things on Twitter, the trailer, people were just like, I didn't realize that they were even taking shots. I just thought that they were literally just trying to just say that they're doing stuff together or they're working together, but everyone just on Twitter was just like, no, they're taking shots.
Yeah.
They're definitely taking shots.
I like Sony's response to it today.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
The
What's that?
Fortnite.
Fortnite. They put out their thing. They put out a Fortnite bundle with the PlayStation 4.
Really?
Yeah, basically saying fuck you to Nintendo and Microsoft and said this is how you actually win your console war.
And not only that, but an announcement came out today for Paladins, which is hitting 60 frames per second on the Switch, and is also cross-play with the Xbox.
It's Paladins, kid.
Paladins. I don't know. Paladins.
Paladins sounds like some type of yoga.
Hey.
I know. I was wondering what the hell you was talking about.
Yeah, is Paladins or Paladins?
Paladins.
Paladins is also announced to be cross-play between Xbox, Switch, and PC. So that's another game that's added to the fray. Minecraft is getting a lot of clout with this.
This is going to continue.
It's going to continue.
It's going to continue.
We got to talk about this, and I think I understand where the side Ramble is on. Ramble, let's please discuss your dismay of what's going on with the cross-play situation and the flack that the PlayStation brand is getting behind this.
Well, I mean, my thought is since they didn't give into it quickly, I'm kind of glad that they aren't giving into it, because then they're kind of behind the eight ball with any sort of public outrage that they can allow bad press to kind of force their hand to do something. So I'm kind of glad they doubled down on the idea of like, look, we're not going to do it, and that's just the way it is.
If you look at Microsoft and how they kept changing their message when they first launched the Xbox One with the DRM and all that. Yes, but I'm saying like it was good that they were doing that, but at the same time a lot of people looked at it and they're like they have no confidence behind what they're doing. Like they're constantly changing up the message to fit what people want. And like that's great and all, but you also want a company that has a vision for the future and what's going on and has the balls to back it up.
But you forget that Microsoft is an American company. Sony is not. So they don't really have to really give into the bullshit that, the Americans, put forth. So just to throw that out there.
What do you mean?
I don't know if like where the companies come from is any.
Well, it's principle. It's a Japanese company. They go on pretty much their principle. Microsoft is an American company, so chances are, if the backlash, they obviously society, almost runs everything, and being that you're an American company, you are likely to react to bad press, PR, damage.
Well, I can definitely guarantee that American companies seem to give in to public outrage a whole hell of a lot more.
I can agree with that, just because if you look at PS3, like there was a lot of issues with PS3, and it took forever for them to address some of those issues. Not even just the price, but I remember thinking it's crazy how fast Xbox did a turnaround for all the stuff that happened, for every bad publicity with the DRM and everything. It was a really quick turnaround compared to PlayStation 3. It took a long time for them to turn that message around.
Well, the Ravensflow kind of puts a point in there. Microsoft doesn't care about like exclusivity anymore, but they also really don't even care about market share. It's not about that to them anymore. It's not like about trying to be the market leader or anything like that anymore with them. It's really about just simply playing anywhere and just playing games. That's, I think, their niche. They're going after that niche market like that. They're going there. Of course, you have Nintendo going after the handheld and home console market, kind of the hybrid market. And Sony's just going after their own market. They have their own market laid out the way they do, and they're just doing their thing.
Well, speaking of them going after their own market, this brings forth some worries I have for Microsoft, because when you see that they have all these new studios, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm because we're getting into also State of Decay, because we're going to be talking about that today. But getting into State of Decay, I think State of Decay, the original, was awesome. I think the game was super ambitious, super unique, and there's not many games like it, right? But seeing now they own the studio, and I'm really happy about that. But at the same time, I'm worried because it's all this, the way they're going, right, with Game Pass, with their future. It makes, like, I was excited at the idea of seeing a AAA version of State of Decay or something AAA from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's dawned on me that it's possible that because of Game Pass, they might just have them make AA games. They might continue to make games like that.
Do not.
Listen, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying
Game Pass,
listen. I'm saying it's a fear. It's something that's dawned on me because like I was excited to hear that when they got bought, and then it dawned on me, like, does this guarantee though that they're going to be making AAA games? Like, we know that Ninja Theory is going to be making AAA games. But will that be the case with...
They're always going to be making State of Decay, and if you don't view State of Decay as a AAA title, then your answer is there.
Well, I don't think anyone views State of Decay as a AAA title.
So if it's not... So if State of Decay is not a AAA IP.
But I'm saying... yes, but I'm saying... Don't you want to see it become that? It's a franchise that deserves it.
I only know State of Decay as it is. State of Decay 1 and State of Decay 2. Like,
State of Decay, I mean... If you look at a State of Decay as a niche game, I mean, it's not like a game that's going to be like really super popular, so like just your average everyday. And so, I mean, I don't look at it as saying it needs to be a AAA game. It just needs to be able to actually have the backing of a company to where they can maybe, if they're looking to advance in some of the mechanics of the game, to where maybe they have the financial backing of, like, say, Microsoft. I don't think necessarily they need to pump a ton of money into that game, because I don't think the return of investment's not going to be the same. I don't think. I think it does good as a AA game.
Before anyone in the chat starts with the whole, State of Decay 2 sucks. It is what it is. State of Decay 2, I myself, I love the first State of Decay. I was disappointed with the second State of Decay. You got to remember that they did make changes to State of Decay 2. I want to point out that there was a story in State of Decay 1. That's one of the things I didn't like about State of Decay 2. And also, it had a much more arcadey style. It was much more free-flowing. It was a little bit more unrealistic, but it was just fun in general. They're trying to make State of Decay a little bit more realistic with State of Decay 2. The problem is, I wish they had the polish so they can match the realism with good quality graphics and the polish it needs. And that's why I was excited at the idea of State of Decay 3 coming out and being a AAA production. But at the same time, you got to remember, with Game Pass, they want content. And they don't want this. They want content constantly. It might just end up being more AA games from them.
But the thing is that just to get like back on track, because as far as like what were we on? We were on the
crossplay.
Yeah.
Well, it's really cross progression, but everyone's making it cross.
Well, yeah, because they all tie in. But cross progression is what's hurting Fortnite. Yeah. That's the Fortnite situation, the cross progression, which is fair. Now, the thing about that, and what I'm seeing from my fellow peers on Twitter and on YouTube, and I see excuses. Now, what I'm seeing is what people typically accuse me of, right? Every time someone brings up the whole thing with Fortnite or Minecraft, the cross-play, the cross-progression, I'm getting messages from like pretty much PlayStation-centric people as like, well, Xbox locks free-to-play games behind Xbox Live, right? So and that's the argument that they're pushing. I'm like, okay, that's fair enough, but that's not the topic at hand. I'm not saying that it's right, but that's not the topic at hand. It's like every time I mention it, it's just a common tactic. Like, we're not gonna. No one wants to It's like nobody wants to condemn it. Everybody's playing lawyer.
I don't know why there needs to be any condemning of it. The only thing that they're not like cross playing with is Xbox and Nintendo. I don't see why they have to do that.
They don't have to cross play. My only issue with this idea
is even needed.
Bruno, this is what I think that's needed on a game like this. If it was, because you got to think about it, now you're invested into the title. If you're pouring money into one game, let's say Fortnite is the game that you're playing, and you got more devices that can run this game, and you can move your account to each of those devices, and regardless of where you're at, you're playing, whether you're playing away from your PC or your Switch, or if you want to
right, but you can do that. You can do that on everything but the Switch and the Xbox.
But, see, this is where it becomes a problem, though. Right? Well, people own multiple consoles, and this is the only reason why this is blowing up is because these were PlayStation gamers that downloaded the game on the Switch, hoping to be like, all right, now I get to try it on the go, and just to find out they have to make it a new account because that shit's not moving with them. They can go on PC, they can go on mobile, and on PlayStation, but they can't do Switch or Xbox, and that becomes problematic because that's people already put money into the title, and PlayStation's model is, well, no, you got to invest again into that game just on a different platform.
Well, listen. Before anything, I got to say, crossplay this generation was needed. Crossplay was definitely needed. And here's the thing, right? You can argue... How
was it needed?
No, listen. You can argue that it's not needed for the bigger titles. Mm-hmm. But there are a lot of smaller titles that are completely
No. Wait a minute. If from now on, like I'm going to call these motherfuckers out that are talking about this crossplay thing. If every single title from this point forward that is on the Xbox and the Switch is not crossplay, then I need to see the same. I need to see the same intensity behind them to make those crossplay as well.
Let me finish my point. The thing, like I said, the bigger titles, Fortnite, they don't need crossplay for that. There's more than enough players. They don't need to share the pool. It would be very consumer friendly to do so, and it's good for everyone if they did do that. But they don't. Let's be honest. Sony has 80 million. They have enough players that they don't have to do crossplay. But here's the thing. I think it was necessary for smaller titles, right? For example, there was a game that I bought a few years back, and I love this game. But because there's no crossplay between consoles, this game is completely dead. Yep. Because there's the saturation of the online market. There's so many online games. These smaller titles, they come out and they're dead. They're dead in the water instantly. Like this game was called Chivalry. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah, I heard of it. I think by you.
Yes. Did you hear? I don't even know if I ever told you. But this game, Chivalry, was like an online multiplayer game where it's medieval times, first person, straight up battling. Think Dishonored in first person, right? But less arcadey, more actual skill, right? You have these huge battles. They can have up to like 32 people on map at once, and it's violent as fuck. It's amazing. But at the same time, I bought it, and in less than a few weeks, there was absolutely no one to play with. It was just, and all I could think is like, if this game had crossplay between all consoles and PC, then we would have a great pool of players. And this title is just dead, and I've seen this happen with multiple titles throughout the generation.
Yeah,
and we can't say crossplay isn't needed. Yes, for bigger titles, they're always going to be okay. Overwatch is going to be fine. You know, freaking Call of Duty is going to be fine. All these bigger titles are going to be fine. Yeah. But crossplay, at the minimum, is needed for the smaller titles because, to me, it's ridiculous they can even sell them in the store when no one is playing them. This game is online only. You can't. There is no single player. How do you even sell that in your store? Yeah, and these titles are on both Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah, that is a true point. Because the thing is, many developers that I spoke with the people from that did Rocket League, spoke with the people that did Guns of Icarus, spoke with who else? There was another studio I did that was pushing for crossplay. Yeah, a lot of these developers,
all those studios are in danger of their game design.
And the thing is, these multiplayer games, it benefits at the developers, one, because they can keep the servers up. Like,
yeah, we gotta shout out the that game that we were playing. What was the name of it? The one that we were playing that's shutting down soon.
Remember? Gigantic.
Yes, Gigantic. Amazing freaking game.
Yeah, I have a couple streams on that. Game. Yeah,
and it never even made it to PlayStation 4. It irks me to see such good games not getting.
It was never meant to come to PlayStation 4.
Well, I just thought that it was just
Microsoft backed it and then backed out of it.
Oh, okay.
It was supposed to be an exclusive to Microsoft, and then they backed out of funding it. And then Gigantic Studio almost went bankrupt trying to do it themselves.
Really?
Yeah, they got a new publisher.
Got me curious.
They got a new,
now I have to look into this.
Yeah, they got a new publisher. That's why the game ended up coming out, because the game went from becoming, because it was going. The thing is, Gigantic and it was announced with like Fable Legends and stuff. They were both supposed to push the whole Windows 10 cross-play, cross-buy scenario, right? And then obviously when Fable Legends went, and then Gigantic pretty much was on chopping block because they stopped working on it. They had to let go of their staff, and then they got picked up again.
Tell me you didn't feel that though when you found out they're shutting down the servers, it's going down. Like, we had fun with that game.
Yeah,
that was
I had fun with the game. I mean, I was hoping that more people could catch on. That's why I streamed. Like, I streamed it like a couple times because it was a game, a new title that I felt like I was becoming decent at. But
yeah.
That's
fucking sad.
That's also the thing with these multiplayer games is that everybody, like, all these games are trying to capitalize off of one another. Like they see something famous and they like, okay, well, I want to try it. They're popular and they want to try it. And if you're doing this, I mean, some of these titles are going to die no matter what, even if crossplay is available, simply because you're having inundated with the exact game over and over. So some of these titles are going to die no matter what, whether there's crossplay or not.
It's true, but at least they would have it would give them a chance to catch on more.
Yeah, because
I don't know, man. I kind of enjoy the fact that they're like that because of the fact that it kind of still pushes the narrative that some single player games are needed. Because if these multiplayer games become ultra popular and like that's where all the money's at, being made at, we're gonna eventually get that to where that's going to be our gaming choices that we have.
That's essentially what it is, though. Multiplayer outnumbers like single player experiences like handled like over.
Well, yeah,
so it's
but
like
that's
we
the
still
thing,
get them, but it's not.
I don't want to see like PlayStation and Nintendo drop their single player IPs and go for try to make multiplayer capitalize off the multiplayer thing.
I don't think they have to do that, or they would actually do that. I think it's important that PlayStation and Nintendo and Microsoft and the multiplayer games that's on their platform, if they're multi-plat, I think for the most part it should be cross-play and cross progression. So especially if it's a free-to-play game, because I feel like at that point it should be in the power of the person that's publishing the game. Like Epic.
Yeah, but not all of these free-to-play games though have a structure. They don't have the infrastructure to do that. Epic Games is just such a huge.
They're wealthy enough, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because Paladins, I would love to have that for Paladins, but Paladins, they've never linked their accounts with any other consoles. You have to start over anywhere you go.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Ravenflow who said, "Yep, that's Microsoft." I assume he's talking about how they pulled funding for Gigantic.
Well, I mean, y'all heard about the whole thing with Crackdown, didn't you?
Now I think people, let's not get into that only because that's an Xbox topic.
Yeah,
but I feel like everybody's looking at that in the wrong direction. People are forgetting that this is how people are presenting this issue, right? Without actually knowing the story. People are assuming that they just dropped off all the people working on a game and they just left the symbol digital and the game is like dead in the water. That's not the case. There was 5
Yeah, we don't know. We definitely don't know what's going on.
There was like 4 or 5 studios working on that game, and one of the studios or 2 of the studios' portion of the game has been done for over a year. That's the rumor, that it was been done over the year, and they was waiting on Sumo Digital. So chances are, and then the people that left or that's done with or that's not no longer working on the game, they've been purchased by Epic, like last year. Like they were it was earlier this
No,
year.
no, wait a minute. No, Regent Games wasn't purchased by Epic.
Well,
the guy that owned Regent Games also owned that CloudGen.
And CloudGen, obviously, so he sold that to Epic, but he also went over to Epic with that.
Right, but then everybody at Regent Games is gone now. Like Regent Games is no more.
Yeah, but but the thing is what would that have to do with really on Microsoft? Because that's not a Microsoft studio. They helped with Crackdown. They were contracted to do that along with 3 other studios.
Well, kid, listen, I agree with you when you say they could have done their part. They could have left, and they would have had their section of the game finished. That's true. We don't actually know, and we do know one thing, though. The perception is this is just another one of those horror stories to add to the development hell that is Crackdown 3.
Well, nobody can deny that the game's been in development in hell. It's been delayed like several times.
Yeah, but without Microsoft or anybody coming out and confirming exactly what's happening, well, it just leads to more speculation as to hell. This game is just a waste of time.
How many games that's been worked on by multiple studios where they had to come out and say, "Oh, this person's job is done on a game. They're going to be moving
no. This isn't just one person's job. This is a whole studio that just went completely gone.
This is not the only game that had multiple studios working on a game. But
the studio is not even a studio anymore.
So.
It doesn't sound good.
Okay, we're off topic anyway. We're off topic anyway. Shout out to Addict. Yeah, you're gonna call me a con, man? Come on, call me a con over here in the freaking comments.
But
all right. So where were we when it comes to?
No, it's just that
we're talking about crossplay. We're talking about cross progression.
Yeah, and the fact that I feel like I'm seeing a lot of quote unquote the word people like to use, damage control and deflecting when it comes to this. It's like nobody wants to come out and be like, all right, it should be like this, or this is just more of a but Xbox does this, or but Nintendo does this. Oh, they sold 80 million. They don't need this. They don't need that.
I just think that if you're coming out saying something about being anti-consumer, then you need to. Then I think on the thing, if you have a preference of a platform, like say you as Xbox, and you're coming out talking about how Sony's anti-consumer with this stuff, well, you need to deal with your own company's anti-consumer bullshit before you start worrying about another company.
But that still doesn't. That's just more like, well, but this company does this. I don't think the lack of crossplay is anti-consumer. The only thing I think that's anti-consumer is the whole thing with the fact that. The locking out, the locking you out of if the game itself allows you to go from platform to platform and all your stuff comes over, but if you play on PlayStation, they're not going to allow you because you started that game on PlayStation. That's anti-consumer. Whether PlayStation allows you to play with other platforms, I don't care about that. It's just that
the only thing that's not allowing you to do is do it on Microsoft or a Nintendo product. Everything else is cross progression, cross buy, everything.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I mean, we're talking just 2 platforms out of the many that are already cross-play and cross-progression with.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with criticizing these companies on both sides and pointing that out. The thing is, right? You have to have the same energy when you do it, because when you look at the fact that you can't play these free-to-play games on Xbox Live without having to pay for a subscription, you think to yourself, okay, where was the outrage for that was there for this?
That's exactly what I want to know, because out of every single platform out there, there's only one platform that makes you pay $60 a year to play that game, to play all the free-to-play games. Only one platform.
Yeah, the funny thing is, you would think that PlayStation would do more to promote that, considering how big Fortnite is.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they probably will eventually start capitalizing on that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how they would promote it, but yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it is a big deal though that Fortnite being as big as it is, you don't have to pay a subscription on certain platforms. So, but yeah, that's what happened with Kid now. He's just like straight away.
I don't know, but I think that'll honestly be more of an issue for people than worrying about being able to play it on the Switch and on the Xbox.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. This became much bigger once it hit the Switch because the Switch offers that portable side of Fortnite, which is something you can't get on other consoles.
No, but I mean, you can get it on your phone.
Yeah, but let's be honest. People want physical controls, and it's not as convenient to play on a phone.
So can you not with that Fortnite game? Can you not hook up your?
I'm sure you can, but I'm just saying it's still
your PS4. Yeah, I mean your PS4 controller still would work with it. I think because it's a Bluetooth.
Yeah, I mean it's just convenience. I mean that's the Switch is all about convenience with the way it's set up and how you can just put it on your console straight. Or just put it back onto, put in your hands and play it portably. It makes a big difference. It makes a big difference, and it has a buttons. It feels like an authentic console experience on the go. You know, that's pretty much what Vita was supposed to be. Except Switch was the one that actually, you know, they're the ones that actually did what they promised to do with the Vita.
All right, it's my bad. What did I miss?
We were just talking about the whole, you know, Switch, how it's a big deal because of Switch, how it Switch offers the portable side of things, and that's why it's such a big deal now that they're not allowing the cross progression.
See, to me, I think that it would be much easier for me to actually just take my phone and have my controller. Let's say I have a PS4 controller with me, than taking that Switch around, because that Switch is not an easy portable thing. Like you have to have a huge fucking pocket.
You'll walk around with a DualShock 4 in your pocket.
I'd be able to hide that a whole lot more than I would that Switch.
Well, to me, here's the thing: people have this idea that portable devices have to be for just leaving your house and doing that shit. I use my portable device at home more than anywhere just to multitask, to watch a show while playing Fortnite.
Well, see, I can't do the watching TV and playing the game. Like that just does not happen.
I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of people that actually use it.
I know. They don't actually I have no idea like why people do that, but that's me.
I mean, you don't have you don't have time. Sometimes you just want to do two things at once. You just want to be able to still have fun playing a game while, you know, watching your favorite show in the background. Yeah, I mean, not everything can be done multitasking wise, but it's an option, and I think it's.
Well, see, I guess the reason why I see it is I mainly play single player games that has a story behind it, and I don't want to be interrupted during a story with like trying to catch a TV show with that has a story behind it as well, and then also a game that has a story behind it. I couldn't handle having both things going on at one time.
Yeah, but that's
why I want to be able to focus all my attention on whatever story I'm paying attention to.
Well, that's why something like Fortnite it works well because, you can just play it. It's just a fun distraction, like you don't have to be so serious about playing Fortnite. Yeah, I have to be number one every time, and you can just play it in the background.
Yeah, definitely.
And tune out the sound of the game and everything.
Yeah, I don't play any of these.
And I gotta take back what I said last week.
What's up?
Because Fortnite on the Switch is actually pretty good. It takes a while to get used to the controls, but like as a fun distraction, or you have a little bit of time, you want to play a quick round. It's awesome. So I use it portably. I use it portably more than I thought I would. I've actually been playing it too.
Yeah, I haven't downloaded it on my. Did I even bring my Switch in here? I haven't downloaded it yet.
Okay, you didn't like it on the console. You're not. It's the same game.
No, I don't care for Fortnite like that. I really don't.
Then it's. Yeah, so I don't think. If you didn't like it to begin with, I don't think playing it portable is going to make a difference.
No, but it's curious to try it. I mean, I know what it. At least I know what it.
Yeah. No, I get the curiosity. You want to see how.
Yeah, but I play a game and then all right, whatever.
It does run smooth. If you saw the Digital Foundry, they tell you that it's dynamic resolution, so it does. Sometimes it does get a little blurry, but for the most part, it runs well and it stays in focus. Like it's got a good balance.
There's a lot of popping, like.
Oh yeah, but it's not. It's like as long as it still has the draw distance for enemies, which is the most important thing. So yes, there might be some popping, but you don't have that. It still runs well enough where you can play the game just like you would on console and spot the enemies at a distance, and it's not. They made the right sacrifices. That's what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha. Except for 60 frames.
It's a good balance. It's a good balance.
In Life and Time podcast, I'm not deflecting anything. I've never once turned on an Xbox console, a PlayStation console, a Nintendo console, and thought, man, I really wish I could play with my friends on that other console. I've never once thought about that. So this whole crossplay thing to me is just nothing but bullshit anyway. I could give a shit less.
But that's the message I've been getting from pretty much everyone I've been coming in contact with on Twitter. And it's not even, it's the fact that I'm not going to say you're deflecting. I don't know what your stance has been on this whole time.
We're not deflecting because we even talked about this last week, and we said and I said myself, there's no excuse for it. Yeah. Like whether you want to sidestep the argument by bringing up the whole Xbox Live thing, which I do think that's a sidestep because obviously that is deflecting. I think there's no excuse.
No, I think that whenever it all depends on like the person doing it, because I think like if your preference is Xbox, then you shouldn't worry about PlayStation's anti-consumer shit when you have your own anti-consumer shit to worry about. It's almost like being at home and trying to worry about what your neighbor's doing and your house is a wreck.
Yeah, but we got to remember. There's a difference.
But the thing is, that's the thing. If Xbox, the thing is,
clean up your own platform.
But that's not the scenario though. We're not talking about like, hey, let's talk about each other's dirt. Like, let's deal with the situation at hand. There's a topic, and right now the hot topic is on PlayStation and their lack of crossplay or cross progression.
Okay, well then how come? What I'm saying though is, how come y'all didn't have the same energy back whenever the topic
but I can
was
say the same
Xbox
thing.
Live, whenever PC was free.
Yeah, but I can say the same thing. I was like, why weren't you talking about this back then? Why are you talking about it now that I bring up Fortnite or crossplay? No, but not just you, not just you, but that was the response that I was getting. Is like, I was like, okay, where were you? Like, where were you bringing this stuff up last year or the year before that or the year before that? Why are you bringing this to me now that we're talking about Fortnite and Minecraft? Now this is not particular to you, but I was just having this conversation.
I can fully understand the Minecraft thing not happening.
All right, well, okay. Let's remove
Minecraft will never happen.
Okay, let's remove the crossplay argument and just concentrate on cross progression.
Yes.
They should have cross progression, and even if they make an exception, they should make an exception for Fortnite.
Yes.
Okay. The thing is, though, whenever I agree, the thing is, it confuses me with this that it's PlayStation's fault, and the reason why I say this is because whenever Fortnite first came out, and I played it on my PC, and then I tried to sign into my Epic account on my PS4, it wouldn't let me. And so then they finally opened it up to where Epic finally opened it up to where I could start playing on my.
I'm not gonna say it's 100% Sony's fault.
I don't know whose problem it is. If it's Sony's problem, they need to fix it. If not, then it's. Epic makes it.
I think Epic Games has their hands in this as well. But that's besides the point. They need to come together and fix this. That's all there is to say. They need to fix it because it's obviously it's not a good look. It's not a good look.
Honestly, I don't think that it's going to hurt anybody because I mean, even Epic Games, the one that was so vocal about the cross-platform, sure as hell is not minding the money.
It's not a good look. It's not a good look.
It'll be forgotten about in no time.
Media is not going to let this go.
It'll be forgotten about in no time, man. It'll be somebody will move on to the next public outrage thing, and everything will be forgotten.
I don't know. I don't know if you noticed, but they keep connecting this like dots. Yeah. Every time you forget about crossplay or cross progression, they find a way to connect this back. Because at first it was about crossplay, and now it's going cross progression. But they're connecting the two. You see how the media is doing this? It's going to come. It's going to keep coming back because they want crossplay. This is more about crossplay than anything. Because at the end of the day, that's what they want. Because if you get crossplay, cross progression is next automatically, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, the media's not going to let this go, and they need to make some exceptions. And
I don't know, man. Whenever you see the thing that came out, whenever you see the fact like that Epic is actually partnering with Sony on a thing, they're not as serious about this whole crossplay thing because they would have said no to that extra money but they know that where the most of that Fortnite money on the consoles
listen,
comes from.
Listen, we're not fanboys. No one is saying. Okay, no one is saying
that we're fanboys.
They don't do crossplay. Okay, no one is saying they do crossplay, right? They do crossplay with PC. They do crossplay iOS and Android. We're just saying they have to start playing nice with other platforms.
I don't think they do. I don't think they do. I don't think it's almost. It's just like
we agreed last week when we spoke of.
I think it should happen.
Build this into next generation.
I don't think it has
that they're probably going to do that.
Yeah, I just don't think it has to happen. I don't think it's one of those things where they have to do it. They could keep riding this out the way they are and be just fine.
Sony can be stubborn and ride this out till next generation. Yes, they can. I think
they would be perfectly fine. Listen, I don't think it's going to hurt them at all. Is what I'm saying.
I don't agree. I think it's going to hurt them going into next generation.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, okay. I guess if you look at it through the eyes of casuals, they might not even know this is happening. So
casuals don't even know anything about this crossplay shit.
So I'll give you that. Maybe you have a point when it comes to
casuals is the audience that controls the market.
At the same time, but you got to remember there will be an effect because at the end of the day, casuals listen to hardcore gamers, to core gamers, and they will talk about it. They will inform others. So there will be some effect.
There will be some effect, but I don't think it'll affect them enough to where they have to.
I feel like the more cross-play and cross progression becomes relevant, it will be because then it will be like this.
Well, yeah, I think that
thing like, don't buy on PlayStation if you plan to play it on these platforms.
I think if you have like every game that comes out from now on being cross-play and cross-progression on the Nintendo Switch and the Xbox One, I think you'll see more of a need to have it on PlayStation 4 as well. Well, if we're only talking about Fortnite and some of these smaller games that are out there that barely, obviously Fortnite's not the exception to the rule, but most of these other games barely anybody playing.
Listen, you want to go into a new generation with as much goodwill as you can muster, as much goodwill as you can get. Because let's be honest, Xbox went into Xbox One with a ton of goodwill. People love the 360, and look what happened. I know they made their mistakes, but I'm just saying.
No, wait a minute. What happened last generation was that like everybody loved Xbox 360 up until like towards the very end of the generation when they started focusing on that damn Kinect. And then that's when PlayStation really kicked in their exclusives and all the like. Well,
I'm not even getting into that. I'm just saying that all the goodwill in the world can guarantee you the win.
It's not going to hurt.
Well, that's what I'm. See, but you see, you're making my point. I'm saying it. I never said that
it's not generation. I never said that it wasn't going to it was going to hurt them or whatever. I said that I don't think that I don't think it's a must-have for them in order to still remain the market leader.
I agree. I don't think it would make or break them. No, I don't think it would make or break them.
It definitely can hurt. I can tell you that. But as far as like being able to say, will this affect PlayStation being the market leader again next generation? No, I don't think so.
I think a lot of stuff that's taking place towards the tail end of this generation does give somebody the leverage. Like since we're all going to be starting fresh. Matter of fact, I can't even say Microsoft is going to be starting fresh next generation, but we know PlayStation will be. So I think some of the stuff could potentially carry over and hurt them if each of these publishers aren't prepared or ready to move forward as this industry and this generation.
Well, I'm more afraid of the media side as well because you want them to be as excited about the new the PlayStation 5 as everyone else, and if they start bringing up all these issues with what's going on now, then the excitement the excitement also gets taken.
I think the main site that everybody has to worry about is IGN. And the reason why I say that is if you ever look at anybody promoting Polygon or promoting Kotaku, every single reply in that is like, no. What are you doing? No. They hate everybody. All the gamers on Twitter hate Polygon and hate Kotaku. So IGN is really the main source. Like these other sites like my site and stuff like that. Sure, as they become more popular, maybe. But I think as far as mainstream, IGN really controls the narrative as far as media goes. Because nobody, I mean, as soon as Polygon comes out with an article, it's almost like all the gamers kind of like, okay, what don't they like? Because I know I'll like it.
Right. Well, I mean that's besides the point.
Yeah, I don't think the media controls as much of the narrative as what you think they do anymore.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I think maybe not the media, but social media does. Let's move on to the May NPDs. There was some shockers in there.
Okay, let me get this straight.
What's up?
You finished celebrating on Planet Xbox.
Yeah.
Now you want to come here and celebrate some more on Planet PlayStation?
We didn't talk about this on Planet Xbox.
Oh, you did? I could have sworn you did.
The NPDs were out during Planet Xbox.
Oh, really?
They came out later.
What did you talk? Oh, you made a video. I forgot you made a video about this. My bad.
Yeah, but don't worry, my tone is different.
Like
I said, to me, it's irrelevant now. It was relevant yesterday. But the NPDs, PlayStation, on top again, selling the most hardware with the PlayStation 4. Second was the Switch. Third was the Xbox. There was numbers that leaked. I don't know if they were.
I don't know if they're true.
Fanboys jumped the gun as usual.
That was funny whenever Porter Rock jumped the gun on that one.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But
the funny thing, because you know what's funny, like you can notice, like when it comes to like fanboys always jump the gun when it comes like as soon as they get any scrap of good news, they just run with it. It's like they're out.
Well, as long as it fits their narrative, then it becomes like if that early information would have came out that said, say Decay 2 actually won the NPD, and said the information was actually right, every one of those people that shared all that shit would have said, "Well, we're gonna wait till the actual numbers come out."
Yes.
Yo, shout out to Merc. Yeah,
absolutely.
Please, people, hit the like button.
Yeah, please hit the like button here.
Shout out, thanks, Merc.
So, from what they're saying, and I follow the Matt Pasquella, they're saying they all three did well as far as hardware-wise selling, and they all did, which is good, which we want to see. The leaked top 3 selling games were, I think, God of War, Detroit, and I think Donkey Kong, right? Like when
they got the leaked ones.
Yeah, the leaked ones. It was the leaked ones.
Yeah.
God of War, Detroit, and Donkey Kong.
It was those 3. Yeah.
But wait, where was State of Decay in the leaked ones?
It wasn't on the list.
Wow.
It wasn't on the list. Well, to be fair, the leaked one was only the top 3 list.
Yeah.
That I saw.
Okay. I'm about to say that was definitely a fanboy right there who leaked that.
Yeah, but it was top 3. It was crazy. Now the thing is, right, and I think the shock is that, me personally, I said this on Dealer's RDX podcast when they were asking us how much we think State of Decay is going to actually sell, and I remember Colt and D-Batch saying like ridiculous numbers, like push like 1 million or so or something like that. And
God, no!
I'm like, you guys. I was like, no, man. I was like, I said this game.
You said 1 million or something. Like in what time period?
In the month, I think.
In its release month, right?
Dude. So wait a minute. Did the original do something like that?
No, the original over time did like 5 million.
Okay, so how long did it take the original to get to 1 million?
I think the original got to like 1.5 million over time.
No, the original one did like 5 million. Like,
it did?
Yeah, overall, it did like 5 million.
It did well.
Yeah,
I'm saying like, but how long did it take to get to 1 million? Because here's the thing, I wasn't so surprised that it was selling well because I knew that those people who played the original, they're gonna come back. They're going to want to play the new one.
Yeah.
What was surprising is, and we all, because of God of War selling as well as we did. That's what's really surprised us is that it actually was still able to.
I expected God of War to either do 1 or 2. I felt like it was the sales was strong enough to repeat, and that Detroit I thought would outsell State of Decay 2.
And shout out to Detroit because a lot of people thought that Detroit had a possibility of not selling that well. I don't know. Some people.
I thought
it sold really well in the U.S.
I thought by default it would because of the install base and then riding the hype off of God of War and the game.
That's where the surprise comes from.
It was like and then the thing is, and when they say the software is also based on revenue and not just unit sales, so when you think about that, State of Decay 2 is half the price as God of War in Detroit. So he's like, wait a minute, for it to outsell them, it had to at least do double of what Detroit did because it has to make up that extra $30. So I'm like, well, let's try to put those numbers in perspective. How much? Let's just guess the top 3, right?
Well, you could argue that more people gave it a chance as well because it was $30, so it wasn't as big of an investment.
Yeah, but you could have gave it a try on Game Pass for $10.
Yeah,
Again,
yes, but at the same time, there's still plenty of people who don't know about Game Pass. Casual,
that's true. But like, how much?
Also remember, it's a co-op game. That actually helps a lot because people want to play with their friends.
So how much you think Detroit sold in its release window? Like, how much you think this number 3 represents? How many units do you think Detroit sold?
I mean, I wouldn't even have a guess, to be honest.
Come on. I wouldn't even have.
I was wondering how much. I knew it would sell decently. I didn't know if it would even make the charts.
I know it sold 30% better in its launch weekend than what the other best-selling title, Heavy Rain, did for them.
And what did Heavy Rain do?
I'm not even 100% sure on that.
Would you say in its launch window that Detroit could have safely done 150K?
Oh yeah, I would think that easily.
Okay, so then
Almighty Spartan God, he said Detroit 1 million in how much time he said in 2 weeks. Is that are you saying that because you know for a fact?
Wait, just think about that because all right. Detroit launched May 25th, so we have to go.
It only have 6 days on the NPD.
I see a second person saying Detroit sold 1 million too.
If it like in that week, because you got to think about it. God of War is number 2, so then you got to ask yourself how much God of War. So because State of Decay, think about it, to make up in revenue had to do double. So that's why I don't think it sold 1 million, dude.
I'm not sure that the those charts are like State of Decay and God of War. I think those are actually numerical charts, like the number of copies sold. I don't know if that's only done on.
He confirmed in where was it? Because it's based on revenue. Matt Pascali says this is based on revenue. That's how with like Sea of Thieves and PUBG. Remember when that charted at like number 7 and stuff like that. The thing is that.
Speaking of Sea of Thieves, where exactly is Sea of Thieves now?
I don't know. It's not even.
This is not. We're not talking about Sea of Thieves. We're talking about State of Decay too.
I was just curious.
But the thing is, people.
It's not in the top 10, so I don't know.
Let's say the biggest. If Detroit did 1 million in its launch, great. But I thought that would be headlines. That would be headlines. 1 million in a week for this game. So like to be safe, maybe it did 1 million worldwide, probably.
Well, someone says 1 million. Someone said 1 million in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. All right. So if it did 1 million in 2 weeks, you got to think a bulk of its sales had to come in week 1, right?
Yeah.
So
I would say probably
700,000,
600,000.
That still seems pretty high, dude. All right. So let's say it did 600K. I think it did like 100 to 200K. Me personally, but if it did 600K, that means God of War had to crack a million or so. In its second month in, it had to do 1 million. So it had to do more than what Detroit did. It had to do like 1 million plus. So for State of Decay 2 to be above God of War, it had to do. I don't believe State of Decay in 10 days did like 2 million. No, I don't buy that.
I know. That's the reason why I say it. I mean, I know he says that, but I don't think we understand fully what he means by that because that doesn't make sense. Because there's no way in hell State of Decay 2 sold 2 million copies.
I think Detroit
because that would be Microsoft would come out and say, look, we have 2 million copies sold.
Yeah, they reached 2 million players, but that can mean anything.
Would they come out and say
that's including Game Pass?
That's including Game Pass.
Wait a minute, have they directly been actually giving numbers? Because a lot of people.
No, they don't directly give numbers, but they do directly give numbers whenever the sales are really great.
No, yeah. Well, what they do is they find a way to talk about other numbers that lets you know what their numbers actually are.
Yeah. So I mean, if it would have done 2 million in his launch month, State of Decay 2, like Microsoft and even Undead Labs would come out and say, look, we did this because it would be a big deal.
Yeah. So I'm.
I don't want to dwell on this, but this is actually what made me think of the fact that the whole AAA thing I said before with State of Decay. Mm-hmm. Where will we see AAA games? This is what made me think about that.
Well, because it was successful? I think this is what I think happened. I think Detroit did like 150 to 200K in its opening. I did God of War return to the charts with like with maybe 300 to 500K, and I think
listen,
and I think State of Decay 2 did like 600.
I'm gonna holler at.
That could be possible.
Holler at Phil, and I'm gonna ask him, will Undead Labs be making AAA games? I'm gonna see if he responds. Well, I'm gonna do that.
He's not gonna reply.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
He'll probably reply with something like, "We're gonna let them decide what they want to do."
Yeah, and I'm not gonna believe that.
I think, but that's what I think realistically would happen. I don't think.
I mean,
because God of War did what 5? It did what? How many million? God of War.
3.1 million in 3 days.
In 3 days.
It's already done. Yeah, it's already done over 5 million. Like I think within the first couple of weeks.
So that means it's total. Pretty much in the first 2 weeks, everybody who was buying the game, most of them got the game at launch, right?
Yeah,
pretty much. So that means in May, I can see the sales being drastically different than what
I didn't think the God of War was going to win May. I mean, I figured by the bulk of the people that were going to buy it have bought it in the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. So that's where I get very, very curious to see what happened, because I want to know how much God of War sold and how much Detroit sold, because that would then help me determine what State of Decay 2 sold, because like I'm not surprised where God of War landed. And like I said, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was one again, because May didn't have a lot of, like, there was some games. You had Dark Souls, which didn't chart, which is weird.
Well, let me bring up an interesting question. Yeah. Do you think we'll see another month where State of Decay is #1?
No, of course not.
No.
I don't think so either.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's just not going to happen. I think State of Decay, it may still be in the top 20 if anything.
Yeah, I don't think. It's not going to be in the top. Yeah. Like,
but it's not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to repeat. You know. What game comes out next month? I think.
Do we have anything coming out next month?
This month. What came out this month that was like a big deal?
Well, I know.
I don't know.
Xbox, you guys are getting Nier, and you guys are getting No Man's Sky.
Nier, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, one of those top the charts from Xbox.
And the Crew 2. Crew 2 is probably going to be the big driver.
Yeah. Man, I just don't know why the hell I played that demo, and God, to me it sucks just as bad as the first one.
Actually, that should have been a topic. Yeah, so you didn't like it?
No, I mean it's just the same thing. It feels like.
Did it look better than the first one?
It looks a hell of a lot better than the first one.
It looks better. The thing is that you can you can ride planes and helicopters and boats now, and it's.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just I don't like a racing game where you just pick a race and go. You know, like you just pick a good thing. I like, especially when they talk about it being like open across the United. It's like I wanted open world and kind of like Forza Horizon. Just drive around and actually, then you maybe pick up races and shit like that. But like that, I don't know. I don't like the method that the crew uses.
Well, I think the racing game to get is Onrush if you're going to be playing a racing game right now.
I want to play Onrush because it's not a traditional racing game. That's the only reason why I have interest in it. I want to answer this question for. Go ahead.
I think Sony made a mistake letting go of Evolution Studios. I think they made a mistake with that because I think they're a top tier.
I don't think so, because I think the problem is that having two racing franchises was really hard to maintain, because you had one. I mean, so I think that it was a kind of a smart move on them to kind of just stay with Polyphony.
Well, the real question is, did they just want to keep working on racing games? Maybe they did. Maybe Sony told them, "Could you try working on a different franchise?" And they're like, "That's not our thing." So, I mean, when you look at the fact that you have Playground Games making an adventure game now, possibly Fable. I think they had the talent to make another genre of game. Whether or not
we'll have to see what happens going forward with them, and then we'll be able to. I guess it'll be more of a hindsight 2020 type thing with them.
Yeah. Well, the fact that they came back and they made another racing game, maybe that speaks more about it.
Maybe that will tell us that it.
I mean, to me, what's the name of it? MotorStorm was my favorite racing game ever.
Yeah, I think they could have
MotorStorm
actually
was amazing.
rebooted that. I mean, I think that would have been.
I wish.
Yeah,
I
I think
always
that
want
would
to
have
see a
been a more.
next
I
gen
think that would
version
have
of
been
it.
a more well received than Drive Club.
Yeah, I mean, I think they fucked it up with Apocalypse because they had to go the whole futuristic like you don't want a dystopian universe for a racing game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they did that with the Apocalypse. I think completely messed it up. But
What question did you?
MotorStorm was amazing.
What question was you going to answer?
Somebody sent me this thing for Detroit. I'll go over that in a minute. But this question was from D Almighty. He said, "Do you guys? Where is it? He's a question, y'all. Do y'all really think Nintendo and Microsoft can take on Sony?"
No.
No.
I think so.
No. First of all, Nintendo is a hit and miss company here lately. They have a hit now, but who knows what's going to come next?
I think it's two hits are always better than one. Or
no, but I don't think.
The thing is, though, is that neither one
they'll ever partner though.
The only company that actually has the presence to take on out of those two things is Nintendo. Xbox is unless they change their marketing strategy, Xbox is a United States main product. Like it doesn't have the world appeal that Nintendo and PlayStation have. So I don't think that the only one that actually has the worldwide appeal is Nintendo, when they're not a consistent company every single generation. So I think that if Nintendo got their shit together and continued, doing good like they are with the Switch, and Microsoft started promoting their product and making it more worldwide appeal, then yeah, maybe so. But I like together, no. They right now, as they stand right now, there's no way. PlayStation just has the appeal of the majority of the gamers.
No, I just want to be clear. You talking about like a merging, or are you talking about just working together?
Working together, I think you're talking about.
I mean, and I'm not even referring. I don't think he's referring to sales either. I just think just as far as mind share and popularity and stuff like that.
Working together can only take them
so far.
When it comes down to it, PlayStation is it's a platform that releases games that everyone just want to play. Like it's the quality of their games are only matched by Nintendo. Unless Nintendo put their games on Xbox, I don't see how them working together would actually make
quality.
It better.
You mean what do you mean by quality?
I mean quality. I mean their exclusives are top rated. They're high quality games.
Oh, Metascores. I'm about to say I have not seen no Nintendo game.
Well, I mean, first of all, forget about the dumb Metascores.
That's what it is.
Forget about the dumb Metascores.
What it is.
Yes, it helps.
If you take away the Metascore, those games are no.
Kid, let me ask you something. When you played God of War, did you not see the quality?
Yeah, but just because I played God of War doesn't mean I saw the same quality in Nintendo games.
I'm just saying.
I didn't see the same. I didn't see God of War in any Nintendo game. No.
I'm just saying. Listen, if those review sites would have gave God of War a bad review, everyone would just been like, it don't matter that it's got a bad Metascore. People would just be like, that's bullshit. And through word of mouth, that game, everyone would have still known that was an amazing game.
Yeah, like Dying Light.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, take Metascore out of it. I don't think Nintendo and PlayStation games are on the same par of quality.
I don't think so either. I think Nintendo is kind of overrated, just like what Winter said. I think they are.
They are.
Listen, when I said take Metascore out of it, I meant take that idea out of your mind that it has to be highly rated for people to see the quality in the game, for people to know it's going to be amazing. Because not everyone goes by reviews anyway.
If we're going to take, say, Nintendo, I think the only reason Nintendo is popular right now is because of the portability aspect. If you take Nintendo and say, next generation, they decide to go with a home console, you're not going to have the exact same, the same Nintendo. You're not going to have the same reception to that idea besides the Nintendo base.
I don't think Nintendo will ever go back.
I'm not saying that they will. I'm just saying you never know with Nintendo. You honestly never know because
you don't know. But at the same time, this is for them. This is the best of both worlds. They can focus all their attention on one platform, but still make games that fit portable and console.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the problem is they're not. They're still making games for the 3DS solely for the 3DS.
Yeah, it's a matter. Yeah, but it's a matter. It's just a matter of time.
Just so
Yeah, I mean, it all
time.
depends on what Nintendo does. But again, nobody really understands what Nintendo's going to do because of the fact that, right now they have a hit, just like they had a hit with the Wii. But then look what happened with the Wii U. I mean, the next one that comes out, it might not be a hit.
Nintendo is governed by money, just like any other company. If it's successful and if it's selling gangbusters, they will continue this path. If it falters, then they'll change it up again. But
now
right
you can't say that because they had something that sold gangbusters with the Wii, and then they tried the Wii U.
Yeah, the Wii success was fraudulent. The Wii success was really fraudulent.
It was definitely.
Because it wasn't like, oh, they sold the most and they pretty much was dominant marketing. Where all the software sales come from? All the software sales.
All I'm gonna say about the Wii U is that they must have gotten whoever marketed freaking now I'm forgetting what I was gonna say. That whole Xbox thing. Whoever marketed that whole Xbox thing, I'm forgetting what it was. Whatever, I lost my train of thought.
All right, but I'm losing my train of thought too because I'm hungry, and we gotta get out of here. But before we do, I just want to point out, shout out to who sent me this Detroit Become Human. I would switch, but it's gonna show the. Let me see. It's gonna show like the YouTube thing. There we go. Who gave me the Detroit link? It was just so I can give a quick shout out. Fuck, where's his? Life and Time podcast gave me the Detroit link. They has already surpassed 1 million units sold. This article was posted 7 days ago.
But we know that's worldwide though.
Yeah, and that's worldwide. So that's gonna be hard to judge as far as.
So, I mean, yeah, it could have sold 100,000 here in America, and then the rest of it, across the world. Yeah. So,
I mean, worldwide numbers are. It's not like it doesn't count.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm sure if you look at the worldwide sales of like the worldwide list, I imagine State of Decay 2 wouldn't even be close to the top.
No, probably not.
Yes.
I mean, so I think that's the whole confusion as to NPD versus.
It won, but I was not about to bring that up because let's be honest, that's one of those things that people say when they don't want to give any credit.
Oh no, I was surprised that it actually got #1. I mean, I was actually. Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised, but I mean, at the same time, I'm not one that sits there and looks at the NPDs and thinks anything.
Even if State of Decay is number 10 worldwide, you still have to give it its credit for being number 1 worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get into the whole NPD and the dick measuring contest from it. I don't understand it.
Yeah. Shout
because I mean, there's a whole lot more of the world left in the United States.
Shout out to Cat Daddy Fat Stacks for the $10 that enjoyed the episode. Thank you. And
hey,
we are
glad you enjoyed the episode, man.
Yeah, episode 3. We'll be back next Friday.
Oh yeah.
You guys got anything you guys want to let the crowd know? Any updates, any streams, any projects you guys got going on?
Well, I'm working on a new article for the 10 of the hardest platinums on PlayStation 4 to see if we can kind of measure out who actually has some of these platinums and how many that each person has. I kind of did a 1 through 3 as a gaming guru, 7 through 10 is actually like the gaming elite. So just to see how many people actually have 7 to 10 of these of the 10 hardest platinums.
Gotcha. And Critic, what you got going on?
All right, well, thanks to everyone that came out today. It was a slow news week, but we made the most out of it. And doing the outro, as always, I'm honest to critic. As always saying, if you're gonna be a critic, be honest. And my channel's up, so you're gonna be hearing that outro on there now. And everyone, go check it out, man. You got the link in the description, kid?
Your link? No, I don't have your link in the description. It will go there on demand, but it's definitely on the. It was on a big screen for the most part, but now I could put it back there. Let's see.
All right, we'll work on that. And I'll post the link in Twitter, and I have 2 more videos I'm going to be putting up probably later on tonight because I'm probably not going to have time now. Like I said, one being about, where is Until Dawn 2, and the other one being why I do not care for trophies or platinums, which is funny considering I'm on this podcast with two hunters. But it is what it is. Thanks for everyone coming out, man. It was fun.
All right, thanks.
Definitely.
Guys.
Thanks for coming out.
And don't forget to hit that like button.
Oh yeah, hit that like on the way out.
Like it.